Hello, everybody. This is AG here, and it is Sprint Series Night in America once again. And we are here at one of my favorite racetracks in America, the Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina, leading into Saturday South Carolina Education Lottery 400. Top four finishers here tonight will be on in that race, but tonight we got 19 laps for the Wawa Sprint Series here on the Lady in Black. It's going to be a very, very unique race here today and a unique race on Saturday. A very tight race in the points. Perfect place for this 14th event of the season. Joined alongside Echo Evans Ross for the call of tonight's event. And Echo, got a very interesting season. Got a win at COTA over there in the Wawa Cup Series. But what are you going to be looking at for these guys here, possibly take into your driving on Saturday's event in the Wawa Cup Series?
Well, a big thing here is just to take care of your tires. This track is so high wear that literally any tire wear is going to kill your runs. You just need to keep it smooth, keep it clean, and try to stay off the wall, but don't try and stay off of it too much, because if you're not hitting the wall, you're not running fast enough around here.
And we're going to see these guys slap that outside wall at the exit of Turn 2 quite a bit today, and especially on Saturday in the Wawa Cup Series race. But regardless of the fact, these guys are definitely going to be going after it really hard here tonight in this Sprint Series event. And if you look in the point standings, Jim Vincent doesn't have to go too hard. He's got 89 points on the cutoff. Of course, a maximum of 24 points for a race win here in the Sprint Series. 70 points ahead is Sam at Oskin. A great season for Oskin. He's got that win at Texas, got the Cup win at Dover. Trey Bartow is 66 points ahead. Avery Alford, 64 points ahead. Benny Moore, 62 points ahead. And Skylar Taylor, 61 points ahead. Those six drivers, definitely the class of the field this season. All of those drivers except Bartow and Alford have gone the victory lane this season as well. Joe Rudkowski, 25 points ahead, won last week at Kansas. Cole Raymond is 22 points ahead. Philip Torres, the Talladega winner, is 17 points ahead. And Luna Lona 5 points ahead of that cutoff. And then on the other side, Bruno Diacomo still below that cutoff, 5 points behind Luna Lona coming into this race. Dale Johnson and Will Parrish both 11 points behind. Emily Bull is 25 points behind, and Mason Brown is 35 points behind. And guess what? The top 15 drivers in points are in this race here today, so it is really going to be a tight fit around that 10th position, 9th position in points. And we're only 7 races until the cutoff at Nashville at the end of June to determine the 10 drivers who will remain in their rides in the last 10 races of the season to go for the title. But the driver starting on the pole is number 78 of Alex Rampas. Only second start of the season for him, but signed up first last week. Alongside him, it is Avery Alford, still going for his first career win on the channel there. We'll have to see if he can pull it off there for Appalachian Motorsports. Sam at Oskin in the 45 to the inside of Philip Torres in row number 2. The O2 machine is Roy Ribbleton to the inside of the 83 of Skylar Taylor. We got Bruno Diacomo and Trey Bartow in row number 4. Angel Gutierrez and Dale Johnson the second in row number 5. Priya McShane alongside the 07 of Jim Vincelef in row number 6. We got Cole Raymond and the 96 of Benny Moore. 00 is Luna Lona. 01 is Emily Bull. We got the 56 of Keith Drake to the inside of the 05 of Will Parrish. And then Joe Rudkowski, who won last week and started on the front row the past 4 or 5 races, all the way back at 19th alongside Mason Brown in the 77. We'll go ahead and get these guys to roll off here from the Darlington Raceway. Make sure everyone does, in fact, roll off and start this race, and it looks like everyone's good to go. So, Echo, I'm not sure how much you've been following the Sprint Series this season, but a lot of strong drivers starting up front, a relative rookie starting on the pole. Who do you think is going to get the victory lane here at the Darlington Raceway?
Been following the series a little bit, kind of just observing the results race over race, but I think that some of the drivers that you'll see up front are these guys that are starting up front, just because you got to take care of your tires. 78 of Alex Rampas is a little bit of a new driver to this. We'll see if the 78 can hold that pole position spot, but I think the 75 or the 45 or the 83 could be the ones to watch for this race.
And Avery Alford still going for his first win, but Oskin and Taylor have both gone the victory lane this season. As a matter of fact, that 45 has gone the victory lane 3 times already, and not with Oskin behind the wheel, but Oskin has won in the 75 in the Wawa Sprint Series and the Wawa Cup Series, because Oskin won for Appalachian Motorsports at Dover 2 weeks ago. But Alex Rampa is going to lead us to the green flag on the 78 machine. A great opportunity for him here for Andrews Racing. Possibly get Andrews Racing their first win of the season here in the Sprint Series. It's going to be a unique little race here, and excited to see who gets it done. One thing I will mention, the tire wear here tonight, not going to be as significant for these guys as it has been in the past. We got it set to 1X. That's how it will be for the Cup race. But once those guys in the Cup race get to the end of their run, they're going to be pretty slow. But these guys don't have to worry about that. It's 19 laps to the green flag. And here we go. Rampa's going to lead us to the green flag in Sprint Series night in America from Darlington Raceway.
Great jump for the 78, and the 45 is going to take the second spot immediately from the 75 as well.
And a good jump there out of Sam at Oskin. Will everyone
Really
get
bad
out of
restart.
turn number 2? They will. Nobody smacking the outside wall right there. Roy Ribbleton in the 0-2 looking for third there on Avery Alford. And Alford definitely wants to clear this 0-2 and get to that inside lane before they get to turn number 1. But Bruno Diacomo has other ideas in that 40 machine. Meanwhile, for the race lead, Sam and Oskin running the back bumper of Alex Rampas. Rampas going to lead the first lap of the race, but Oskin looking really quick in that 45.
78 slides up high. The 45 also slid up a little bit. Going to get down underneath him in turn 2? Yes, he will, just barely.
A good run there for Oskin. Going to move to the inside. First turns 3 and 4 are relatively equal for the inside and outside lanes. But 1 and 2, the inside lane is by far the preferred line and probably the most dominant line of the entire circuit. And you're going to see that right here as Oskin moves right to the inside. Ribbleton's coming here, and so is the 40 machine. It's Skylar Taylor moving up in the 83 as well, and Rampas may lose all those positions. That inside lane, very dominant through that corner. Sam and Oskin going to continue to lead this race now as he has taken the lead away. Ribbleton, Diacomo, and then the 78 going to file in the 4th, right in that last transfer position onto the Cup race.
The 78 and 75 both started on the front row, and they both lost quite a few spots since the start of the race. Just get stuck on the outside line. Yo 2 goes for the lead here.
Roy Ribbleton looking to take the race lead away from Sam and Oskin. The past 2 races, we have not even had a pass for the race lead. We're already on our second one of the day, and Roy Ribbleton looking to get his second win in 3 races. Going to move to the inside of Sam and Oskin on lap 4. Here comes Bruno Diacomo for second. A great run for the number 40 here today. Trying to get that advantage on Lunalona, get that last transfer spot, at least get the position, and Oskin is going to get passed by a ton of guys as he's stuck in that outside lane.
Diacomo, I thought he was going to take it 3 wide on the backstretch. Oskin's in the wall, and that's going to cost him even more spots.
It's a tough break there for the 45 after leading this race, and that's just what Darlington will do to you, and we'll see this on Saturday in the Cup race. They got 74 laps, and we'll have more time to figure out those mistakes and rework them. They still can lose a lot of positions here as Rampas back up to second, and Diacomo now stuck in that outside lane. And now Avery Alford going to take the last transfer spot away. Oh, and hard on the outside there for the 40. Green McShane coming as well.
40's had some good. 40 had a good start to this race, but that wall hit just kind of settled him back now. 78, who started on the pole, dropped back a little bit. Now trying to catch back up to the 0-2.
Yeah, I thought he may continue to fall back, but he managed to find his way back on the inside, and here he is looking to get this race lead back away from Roy Ribbleton. And how about Skylar Taylor? They won twice on the short tracks earlier this season, looking to get their 3rd win of the season. And we'll have to see if they can pull it off. We got Avery Alford, though, still going for his 1st win of the season here. And how about Trey Bartow? We really haven't seen much of Bartow. I mean, Bartow's the longtime veteran of all these guys. He's been in more races than all these guys combined, probably. But we really haven't seen him in a Cup race lately. Well, here he goes for 4th here. He's won here at Darlington many times before, especially in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, and I know he'd love to get it done here today. Is Diacomo once again in the outside wall. Looks like Rakowski hit the outside wall back in there. Oskin has fallen back quite a bit in this race.
Yeah, Oskin's hit the wall. That's the 2nd time he's gotten in the wall. And that car just must not be handling to his liking.
Of course, tire wear definitely going to come into effect. Even though we have it on 1X, it still's going to come into effect for these guys by the end of this race. So Roy Ribbleton looking for his 2nd win of the season, trying to get into this cutoff. Now, the thing is, Roy Ribbleton's been signing up his 2 drivers this season, and that has split his points up. So him and his development driver, Tyree Cartman, if he only chose 1 driver the entire season, there's a very good chance he'd actually be in the chase right now, but that's not the case, and Roy Ribbleton trying to get some more wins and have an opportunity at possibly making the chase here with 7 races left to go. But doing a great job now leading this field here at Darlington. Rompus doing a great job as well for Andrews Racing. This is the best opportunity this car and Andrews Racing as a whole has had at getting a race victory here in this series all season long. And Rompus doing an excellent job holding this line fairly well for this team. And Skylar Taylor doing a great job in the 83 machine as Bartow holds on to the last transfer spot. Philip Torrey's trying to take that away from him there. That is for the 4th position. And it looks like things have kind of calmed down up front here. Torres may have a shot on Bartow. We'll have to see if he can get it right here.
He looks. I don't think he'll get it, though. The 80's just blocking him just enough to where he can't get that run. But he might try it in 3 and 4 if he has enough.
First 3 and 4, pretty equal in terms of the line. So we'll have to see if Torres can get a good run. Of course, as the tire wear does increase here, it's a bit harder to get a run on the driver ahead of you. And that may favor Roy Ribbleton and possibly getting his 2nd win of the season. Of course, went flag to flag at Dover. We'll have to see. I'd watch out for Skylar Taylor, though. This Trinity River Racing team has been excellent all season. This car almost won last week for Bernardo de Oliveira. Behind the wheel, almost got to Rutkowski there at Kansas. Didn't quite pull it off.
They were like 2 seconds back there. Now he's less than a second back, and he's really close to passing the 78 here.
We'll have to
get
see
the run right here.
If Taylor can get around Rompus here for that 2nd position, and if he can, and it looks like they will.
Going for it.
This 83 may get this race victory because that 83 is looking really quick. Fastest laps of the race actually goes to Dale Johnson the 2nd, but that may have been earlier on. It's not really a good measure for a place like this because of the tire wear, but I think if we had the most recent laps, I think that 83 might have had the fastest one. Bartow and Torres closing in here on Rompus. And if they both get around that 78, that 78's not going to make it into the Cup race on Saturday, so I know that's something that he wants to fight for, get his first Cup Series start. But Roy Ribbleton still hanging on, and he's only got 5.5 laps to go here at Darlington to get it done. He's going to have to hold off Skylar Taylor for this race victory.
78 may have cooked the tires there. He's fallen way off the 83 now.
Bartow trying to get this advantage here. Philip Torres looking to fall in line if the 80 machine can get that run. Well, let's see. Taylor not really closing in too much on Roy Ribbleton for the moment. 5 laps to go here at Darlington for the 0-2. Thing is far from over. A lot can happen in 5 laps. We had both of our lead changes in the first 5 laps of this race. Will we have another lead change in the last 5 laps? Ribbleton has led the most laps of this race. He's going to get another bonus point towards the championship for that. But I don't know. I think all these guys starting to close back in on each other here. Got the 78 and the 80. They're starting to accordion back up.
Lap, but now the 78's starting to close back in again on the 83 here. And I think they may bunch back together. Yeah, the 83 gained like 2/10 that time.
Here we go.
This is going to get good.
We're going to have ourselves a race on our hands here between Skylar Taylor, Roy Ribbleton, and Rompus might have something to say about this as well. That 78 is able to find some more speed right there. Regained his momentum. Skylar Taylor, though, trying to get it here on Roy Ribbleton for the top position. And if they can get a good run off the exit here, they might shoot down to the inside for the race lead. 3 laps to go here at Darlington in the Wawa Sprint Series for Roy Ribbleton. Will he hold these guys off and get his 2nd win of the season?
Taylor tried, but he couldn't get in underneath the 02 there. They might try and get him out on the exit of turn 2, though.
And this is so hard to get a run once you get this late in the tire run for these guys. And it's going to be interesting to see if this 83 can, in fact, pull it off. 78 lost a little bit of ground right there. Taylor trying to get the inside lane to work to their advantage. Not really getting it right now. 2 to go for Roy Ribbleton here at Darlington. Trying to hold these guys off for his 2nd win of the season.
Highside just has that much better exit off of 4. That's what the 02 is really benefiting from. He's running the high line on exit in turn 4, and it's just giving him a huge run to the line. I think the 83. I think the only way the 83 can get by him if he gets by him in 1 and 2.
Absolutely. That is where you need to make the pass here at the Darlington Raceway, and we're definitely going to see that on Saturday as well. Here we go. White flag at the Darlington Raceway for Roy Ribbleton. And Triad Racing. Travis Crampton trying to win once again with this team. And it looks like he may get another win as an owner here today as Rompus and Bartow slams the outside wall. Torres is going to take 3rd. And this is the last transfer spot right here between Bartow and the 78. Meanwhile, for the race lead, look at this 83. Once again, a great run there for Skylar Taylor. It's not going to be enough. Roy Ribbleton wins at Darlington, and Bartow's going to barely hold on to the last transfer position. What on earth happened there?
Something must have happened. Those two must have made contact or something in 1 and 2, because the 85 just shot right by both of them on corner exit.
That got interesting right there. We'll replay that in the corner of your screen because that was definitely worth a replay. But Roy Ribbleton holding off Skylar Taylor. What a run Taylor had there at the end. Almost got his 3rd win of the season, but Ribbleton gets his 2nd. But still way behind in the points. It's going to be interesting to see if he continues to sign up here in the Sprint Series and has an opportunity at getting into that top 10. Bruno Diacomo finished behind Luna Lona, so Lona's going to hold on to that last position for now in the points, but very, very interesting race here. Tough break for Alex Rampas in the 78. Was going to transfer in, and then Bartow got into him there.
Taylor would have had that if there was one more lap, I think. He had such a run off of 4. He could have just held... If there was one more lap, literally that was all he needed, I think.
Absolutely. It was a tight one there at the end. And definitely a very interesting race, no doubt about it. As you see the official standings right there. Roy Ribbleton. And another close Darlington finish. I know when we did the Wawa Pro Series last year, we had the Sprint Series here. We had a really close finish in that race. And then we had a 0.09 second finish in that one. So one of the closest finishes of the year on the channel. Taylor, Torres, and Bartow all advance on. A very solid group of guys making it on. Great run for Alex Rampas regardless. Now that Andrews Racing team isn't quite as fast as some of the other teams, but he definitely did what he could in that car. I feel bad for guys like Bruno Diacomo and Sam at Oskin. I thought Oskin was going to win this race, honestly, in that 45, and he fell all the way back to 13th. But very unique race, and in Echo we have 4 times as much on Saturday for the Cup guys and a cycle of pit stops. How do you think that race is going to play out in the SCEL 400 from Darlington?
Well, we saw the tire wear play out a lot here. It's going to be insanely high in the Cup race, especially with the Cup field, how really good they are at everything they do. It's going to be insane to see all of these, plus all of them, plus the Sprint Series drivers that moved on here today too.
It's going to be a fun race, and of course we have the finale here as well later on in September for both the Sprint Series and the Wawa Cup Series for the Southern 500. But we got our first taste of Darlington here today, and we're going to have another taste of it on Saturday in the South Carolina Education Lottery 400. Well, a huge congratulations to Roy Ribbleton on getting his 2nd win of the season and his 2nd win in 3 races as well there for Triad Racing. And good runs there for Skylar Taylor, Philip Torres, and Trey Bartow. They will be advancing on to the race on Saturday. Sign-ups for North Wilkesboro. Going to be the halfway race of the season coming up at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the Wawa Sprint Series. And we'll see you guys on Saturday for the 14th race of the season in the Wawa Cup Series from Darlington. A huge thanks to Echo Evans Ross for joining me for the call of tonight's event. And we'll see you guys on Saturday for the Wawa Cup Series. Here are the points for the Wawa Sprint Series after 14 races. Congratulations to Roy Ribbleton, and I will see you guys later.